Hello everyone, and welcome to my EastEnders Soap Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. George Knight has made an effort to treat Kabina and Kojo Asare, his birth brothers, with respect. Upon first meeting, the brothers' newly formed bond was shattered when George revealed that he had seen their birth father Henry Asare being beaten to death by his adopted father, Eddie Knight. The brothers rushed out of the Vic, but not before George calmed down a distressed autistic Kojo in the cafe. George's fiancée Elaine Peacock brings up Kojo's outburst with George after he spent the night at the Vic due to an incident in which he grew upset in the cafe, fearing that he would become agitated again. Elaine appears to have good reason to be concerned, as Kojo is obviously still in poor health. When Kabina arrives to pick up his brother, he and George get into a heated argument on the details of Henry's death. When Kabina angrily declares that he and Kojo are heading back to Ghana immediately, George is devastated. Ahead of his court date, Denzel Danes is anxious about giving his pal Nugget Galati steroids. Teen Denzel used Yolanda Truman's credit card to buy steroids online as a teenager who became obsessed with being ripped after being bullied. Envious of Denzel's improved body, Nugget Galati, his friend, wanted in on the steroids without considering the possible consequences. Regretfully, Nugget's renal damage proved irreversible as a result of the medications he took. Terrified by the events that transpired, Denzel was made to face the music upon his arrest. Denzel, accompanied by his father Howie Danes and Howie's fiancée Kim Fox, heads to court and is happy to be handed a suspended sentence rather than a jail term. In addition, Priya Nandrahart, who is a bit of a skint, convinces Zach Hudson to offer her a trial shift at Walford East. According to next week's EastEnders spoilers, Penny's Carnival Club night at Peggy's takes a perilous turn when a crush develops in the crowded space. George meets his brothers elsewhere and gets his foot in the door. Next week's EastEnders spoilers include all of this and more. Penny, trying to sell some last-minute tickets, is getting ready for her club night at Peggy's while carnival celebrations take over the square. But when Chelsea tries to spoil the evening by offering extra tickets online even though the event is virtually sold out, she causes mayhem. Peggy's quickly fills up too quickly, with guests including Amy, Avani, and Nugget. When the club gets too crowded, a crush begins to form. Soon after the collision, Jack appears and is appalled. Is anyone hurt, though? When Ian shows there, Junior begs Cindy to go to Peggy's with him, and the two quickly get anxious. Then, Junior and Cindy duck into the office. Then, they indulge in a passionate moment together while ignoring the crush going on outside. George finds out from Angela that his brothers, Kojo and Kabina, are in town from Ghana. George is hesitant to inform them of their father's passing, but he follows Gina's advice and goes to see them at the Vic. Later on, Kabina tells George that Kojo has autism. George, believing that they already knew, sticks his foot in it though, eventually admitting that he saw their father killed. After George's disclosure, his brothers quickly depart, and George tries in vain to call Kabina but is unable to connect with him. Overwhelmed by everything, Martin sees Kojo alone in the cafe. Then he begs George to provide his brother some consolation. Kojo spends the night at the Vic, and Elaine worries that he might have another tantrum. Fortunately, Kabina shows up to soothe Kojo. After an argument between George and Kabina, Kabina finally says he's going back to Ghana with Kojo. Is George able to make things right again? For her part in the crush, Chelsea is questioned by the police. Is she in jeopardy, even if she feels so guilty? When Kim tells Denise that Jack is almost done completing the divorce paperwork, she is shocked. But is this really what she wants? Denzel's sentence on the steroid charges is suspended. Is his family able to help him get through this? Deo Koleosho from BBC Casualty has joined the EastEnders cast in a new regular role as George Knight's brothers arrive in Walford. Deo Koleosho, a former cast member of Casualty, has joined EastEnders as part of a compelling new plot involving Queen Vic landlord George Knight. When the brothers George has never met arrive in Walford in an attempt to build a relationship with him, emotions will run high. Together with their mother's friend Angela, Kabina and Kojo Asare head to the Vic after learning that their long-lost elder brother Kwame, also known as George, has been located. George is still processing the trauma of learning the truth about his father Henry's murder and his true ancestry. He has never met his siblings before. What will transpire then when he sees his brothers face to face? Actor Deo, who has autism himself, plays George's younger brother Kojo, who has autism. In Strike, Casualty, and Doctors, Deo starred. Jonathan Niati, who has acted in Ted Lasso, Doctors, and Desperate Measures, will portray Kabina in the interim. The brothers certainly have a lot to learn about one another and their difficult past, but Kabina quickly realizes he can't handle it and chooses to go back to Ghana while George offers to look after Kojo, who wants to remain in Walford. Executive producer Chris Crenshaw of EastEnders commented on the appearance of Kojo and Kabina, saying, "We're excited to have Deo and Jonathan join us to play Kojo and Kabina as we carry on telling George's tale. These three brothers have a lot of complicated feelings to process after a tragic event that tore them apart. George is able to step up as a big brother and take on caring duties when Kojo decides to stay after Kabina decides to go." Deo Koliosho, who portrayed Jay Henderson on Casualty in 2023, stated, "It's been absolutely amazing. I'm loving every minute of working with the cast and crew." Deo Koliosho recently joined EastEnders. The plot for Kojo and his family is amazing. It is now a reality rather than just a dream. There are a lot of surprises, and I'm seizing every chance to collaborate artistically with other gifted performers. I am really honored to appear in EastEnders, a British soap opera that I grew up watching religiously, Jonathan continued. Being a member of George Knight's on-screen family and plot is wonderful. When Kabina and his younger brother Kojo first come in Albert Square, I can't wait for viewers to meet them. Fans of EastEnders are shocked to learn how old Gillian Tailforth, who starred in Kathy Beale, actually is. The performer has been a part of the show since the premiere. Viewers of EastEnders have been taken aback to discover Gillian Tailforth's true age. The actress, who has played Kathy Beale since the BBC One soap opera's premiere in February 1985, just turned 69 years old. Kathy was married to Peter Beale, the twin brother of Pauline Fowler, who was well known for his fruit and vegetable stand on Bridge Street Market during the early seasons of EastEnders. In a shocking turn of events, Kathy moved to South Africa with her son Ben and new husband Gavin Sullivan in 1998, leaving Walford behind. She made a few quick trips back to the square in 1999, but in January 2000 she said goodbye for good. But in a startling change of events, Ian was saddened to learn that, although it turned out to be untrue, Kathy and Gavin had died in a vehicle accident. Kathy triumphantly returned to Walford in 2015, and ever since then, she has been a beloved character there. Even though the actress has been a regular on EastEnders for a long time, some viewers are only now learning how old she really is. According to the Daily Star, Gillian celebrated her 69th birthday on August 14 and received compliments on how young she looked. Supporters of the Kathy Beale actor expressed their adoration for her on a Facebook community devoted to EastEnders. "Happy birthday to Gillian Tailforth, who turns 69 today," said one user. "Aged really well," replied another. "Very gorgeous still today," said one fan, and "more like 39, said another. Some women simply don't seem to get older. Gillian is among those lucky women. She's excellent. One fan said, "She looks fantastic," while another echoed, "She is never 69. Recently, Kathy has not been in any episodes as her persona travels to the United States to see her imprisoned son who was convicted of fraud. But the much-loved figure is scheduled to return to Albert Square the following week. When Kathy comes back, she tells Steve McFadden's character Phil Mitchell that their son Ben is having difficulties and that Ian Beale, Adam Woodyard, is staying behind to attempt to get him a better attorney. She is so desperate that she begs Phil to focus all of his energy on helping Ben with his plea. Will he put his son first, though? Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.